Hey, worldwide motorcycle people, fans. What I do is decide to give you a walk through my shed. First thing you do when you walk in the door, you see the 1100. 1981, of course. RH Midnight Special. Above that, which has always been here for quite some time now, there's a 0 on this. Thing I picked up off the American site. It's a poem or it's a little thing that a bloke by the name of Trains put up. I don't know whether I can get it clearer. Not really. Anyway, what it says, what they do have is an unrelenting presence and movement that bespeaks massive power lurking behind paint and chrome. They don't wail like a screeching ninja, they don't rumble like a Harley. They just growl like a spastic, stressed out badger waiting to rip your face off and eat your soul. The late mate is Trains. Rest in peace, mate. He was killed a while ago on his bike. So, yeah, 1100. In front of the 1100 is my big fan. Gets a bit warmer down here, so yeah, we turn that on to number 3. Sounds like a little small aeroplane or a small Cessna float in your shed. She moves some air, but beside this we've got the Mate's Goldwing 1988 limited edition Aspencade 1500 limousine on wheels. It lives at my place because this place is a bit dusty and horses and you can't really keep it clean, so it lives here. I charge him rent. I have to ride it. It's just one of those things. Behind the Goldwing we've got the little trailer that goes behind my 1100, inch by inch box, made out of inch by inch box, covered in 3-ply exterior, and I don't know whether you can really see down there, it's got car wheels on it. I don't like those little tiny wheels that you see on them, so I put tyres on it, tyres and wheels on it that can sit on 100 and whatever, at least the speed limit. Beside the little trailer, I've got this little rocket just sitting here waiting for a ride. It's a 1982 VF 750 Sabre, 6-speed shaft drive. Just sits under cloths. Actually, everything sits under cloth here. The bikes, trailers, anything that you want to protect for a while. Geckos poo everywhere, and frogs that climb everywhere, and just dust in general. So gecko poo down here is very corrosive. So yeah, but that's her little $400 machine. So just sits there waiting to be ridden, all covered up. Another day, drill press. Inside down there on the bottom is the shed echidna, as Melbourne Excess calls it. A bit of cloth over it for ease of getting the material off, as a couple of fellas have suggested. A bit of a workbench. On the workbench beside the drill press, you've got a bit of Trefilex, which is drill cutting compound. A couple of grease guns, a bit of gear. It's only a small workbench. Air compressor. That's an invaluable little tool in a workshop. I don't know how many years I worked without one. Just sit there blowing through stuff as hard as you could. Yeah, you get one of those, it's brilliant. Leading links down there in the back on the wall. The homemade leading legs that I built for the sidecar. Just hung onto them. You never know when the sidecar bug's going to bite you again. One of the workbenches I use, this is the workbench we pull the motors down on. Just big, heavy, thick steel. It's all homemade. It's been put on wheels, so you can. It's in the corner of a shed at the moment. So if you need to get at it, you just wheel it out into the middle of the shed, middle of your workspace. Kick the car outside, and you've got an enormous workspace. So everything's on wheels for manoeuvrability. 2 big open doors. That's when we welders and grinders and welding rods, all the gear. Whole pile of electrical tools in there. I've got some of them out here. I'm halfway through 2 big builds at the moment, so it's a little bit out and messy at the moment. Shelf there with your drilling cut, with your drills and cutting discs and all that type of thing on it. These plastic boxes in the corner that you can see here, get them from your $2 shops, or your junk shops, whatever you want to call them. 94 litres these are. Inside them you can fit 2 full face helmets, and I've got 2 half face helmets from the girls as well when they were in the chair. They've been sitting in there on and off for best part 18 months. There's not a moth, there's no dust, there's no nothing in there. So if you're ever looking for something to store your good leathers, or even your wax cottons, or just anything in, get them. The wife's got some university papers in there. Yeah, brilliant. Excellent storage containers. Down here, got the wheel for the back wheel that I've had turned down. It's got a car tyre on it from the chair. Another little front wheel in there. Off the sidecar. Workbenches. This is the main workbench. Homemade as well. It's a very old workbench though, this one. So we go off our engine pull down bench over here through to our kerosene bath. Been made with whatever somebody had at the time in a workshop with the look of it. It's got a few holes in that in it, and they've just welded plates over them, so I don't know where it came from. An old guy that used to live next door to us passed away, and his son gave it to me because he had all his own gear. He couldn't do anything with it, so I inherited it. So just out the bottom, just comes out that little spout at the bottom of the dish into a 60-litre drum. In the bottom of the drum, it's got a big steel, very fine filter, steel filter in it, mesh, through an old electric pump. Got a very old pump out water off a washing machine. This comes up a hose, and the hose just slips into the, pushes it out, so you just move the hose around and wash whatever you need to wash. Yeah, brilliant for what it is. It does a marvellous job. It's also on wheels. Just got an old axle, a couple of wheels off a little old boat trailer. They're the wheels that most motorcycle trailers have. Yeah, I won't have them. They spin far too fast at 100 kilometres an hour, so that's why I put car tyres on mine trailer. So, a few odds and bods at the top here. Things I use when I'm working on machines and motors and stuff most of the time. A bit of tin of thinners and a tub of wheel grease there, wheel bearing grease. CO contact cleaner. If you're going to use contact cleaners on your bikes, get CO contact cleaner. Ordinary contact cleaners will break your plastics down, but CO contact cleaner won't affect your plastics around your plugs. So you get some of that. Bit of lanolin, inox, bit of throttle body cleaner, tin of dry lube. Yeah, a bit of other stuff there. The bench itself, it's got a tin top on it, so we rebuild our motors on there. We throw a sheet over off, polish it all down, throw a sheet over it, so it comes out of your wash bin onto your sheet, and at the end of the day we just fold all the sheet up and over it, and it's surgically clean, nice and dry. That's the workbench that we got the video up of, the adjustable height one. It's right down low at the moment, so that's how it's not even a metre off the bench there. Bit of a vice on the one end of the bench, grinder, wire wheel, buffer wheel. Just made it move around. So you got a just put an old jockey wheel of a caravan on the front of it. So move it around a bit. This is my junk corner. Polystyrene boxes there, airtight and watertight for all your casings and bolts and all the bits that aren't super important. Down here in this timber box down the bottom here, on the diff sitting on, is where all your crankshaft, camshafts, oil pumps, gear clusters, all that sort of thing are. They all sit in that timber box there. It's an old box, it's got oil soaked through it, so not too much moisture gets through it. What I've done, if you're looking to store stuff, try this. It's a Mollybond specialised lubricant, 122L. It's a dry solid film lubricant. Spray that over everything. Wash it down first. Spray that all over everything. So it's almost like you paint it. That crankshaft that's in that box there, it's been there for 4 years. So if someone was to need a crankshaft, it's sitting there, send it to them. They wash that stuff off, and you've got a crankshaft that come straight out of a motor. All your journals and everything's still highly polished and clean. It just doesn't let any air in or anything. So we pan around a bit. These cords that are hanging down these are my shed tidy idea that I put a video up off the string. Keep your cords off your job. So this is a box trailer I'm rebuilding at the moment. This is going to be a Jeffrey trailer. She's going to be on airbags, this one. Sort of got them all set up there now. But yeah, that's another video coming up. So we got a cord there on that side, all over your job, and the other one here. So I've got my welder hooked up to this cord. Normally you throw your grinder on that other one, and that stretches over to that side of the shed with a power lead, and that one that side. So yeah, that's how the shed tidy works idea. So there we got bit of the work kit. This is pretty much a hand-built hand trolley. It's on wheels as well, so you move it around. So you're not walking across your shed all the time to pick up a spanner. Just got a couple of tools in there that I use all the time. Got a gas soldering iron. Got sick of waiting for electric ones to heat up, so I bought a gas one. Got my vacuum gauges there that we sync the carbies with. A couple of sets of Stilsons, time and light, jumper leads, battery chargers. Probably can't see that too well with the light. But yeah, that's about her. So I hope you've enjoyed the bit of a walk around my shed. My surgical, as we were talking to Ever, he popped around the other night. He's only just over the hill there. So just saying, having a bit of a joke about walking around with bare feet. But mate, we perform surgery in these sheds, and they're clean. You know, that's halfway through a welding grinding job. As long as you just keep sweeping up after yourself, there's no dangers of anything. But just to prove you that I can, see that? Look at that. Got a work boot on. Do you want to see it again? I'll do it in slow motion for you. There you go. Alrighty, that's about her, eh? So, if you're ever driving around Australia and you see that, you know it's me.